You see, life gave me lemons. And so I planted my seeds to grow this fruit for thought out of my poetry. Hoping that this proverbial lemonade that I'm sipping in the shade will be showing me the way through the clouds that are gray. But like blue skies, my vision is clear and my hearing is fine. But to these haters, I'm so deaf and I'm so blind. And even to the naysayers trying to inject auditory poison into my veins. Or how to use precision incisions to place doubt in my brain, trying to tell me that if I leave that things won't ever be the same. Look, I'm off the change, but the love that I have for my homeland won't ever change like big bills. Oh! Only cause I'll be bottled like sick pills, and I'm sick like the flu, so now you know how sick feels, but what about how homesick feels? Only for the heart and soul, me leaving tasteless love like an oil spill. To my motherland, your white sandy beaches and palm trees, I remember you still. I'm hoping that you know that my absence is only temporary, like your beautiful sunsets. So when your sun is set, I will be back to be king for homecoming. And when I finish this journey, you hear the stories I'll share. See, most people are too afraid to dare, but if you ask what I say fuck your comfort zone. Yeah. Get out into the world. Inspiration is out there. I'm gonna spit this next piece. Some of y'all heard this piece before. It's called Through These Words Written. So basically what it's about is, you know, sometimes as a male poet, sometimes we get undermined and we get looked down upon, you know. Sometimes they look at us like, oh, they just some, you know, they sappy, they emo. Yeah. You know, they can't really spit, so this is for that. So this poem is dedicated to all the creators out there that want to express themselves. That's the fact that I'm a poet. They probably assumed that I was just some soft, sappy writer that writes about his emotions and feelings as if I was too in tune with them. Expecting to snap after each ambiguous phrase spewed out in doubt of my normalness as an average young man. Smirks and smitten faces dance between each line that a poet writes. The plan was never to impress you, but rather to express through these words written. Spitting vicious like a mad villain, using words to illustrate like acrylic paint in hopes to unperpetuate these stereotypes and break them in half, and so I snapped. No bullshit raps about money and hoes because the disclosure of my soul is too real for shit so basic on the mic. Never wanted to be basic when I write to be deeper than the ocean's abyss, but also to simplify with similes and metaphors to express the matrix of my mind, and I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't irate at the very least. But for the most, I'm at ease with it. So amazed at how I'm not living, so I'ma ease through your soul with this flow like you're blowing trees. Sometimes we all need to catch a break to catch a breeze. A breather spitting heaters is all I need just to breathe. And for me, it's when this pen touches down like a catch from breeze in New Orleans. It's a bit easy, and by no means do I say that this is a bit easy like Sunday mornings. You see, as boys, we're always taught to never show emotions, but as a man, I'd rather have my house full of pain before closing, which means I'm for being open with these words that are being spoken. Keeping it inside only leaves me broken. So even when I'm dozing off, I'm constantly overdosing on this poetry and emotion, and that is my potion. That is my passion. To display words that play not to break you, but to allow yourself a breakthrough, to break through barriers created by people that hate you. The AU dastardly that they have to hold you down like gravity. It's like the new age shackles that need to be broken like tackles in order to keep your sanity. I express myself in my own liberation, but the goal is to share how we all feel. Not to preach what's right, but to convey what is real. To elicit good vibes and thoughts through these words written. Spilling visions of revolution, so vivid a vision in my mind when it's drifting. Start my mission, I'm shifting paradigms constantly to articulate something beautiful, something soulful and musical like Sade mixed with Hairspray or Al Green mixed with the sound of music. That is why I do it, because I influence. Thank you. The title of this poem is called Ode to Venus.
Ode to Venus, oh, that's dangerous.
It's been over 21 years now. 21 years of life. A life filled with pain and joy, happiness and sorrow, and a gift called hope. A promise for tomorrow, Even though I know that technically there is no promise for tomorrow. But you did teach me to live that way. And to be honest, that's why I always shoot far. Wishing that one day that I'd be the brightest out of all the stars. You see, there's a reason why Venus is closer to the sun than Mars. But it's probably better to say that the sun was closer to her. And I never knew the reason at first, but if you look at the nature of when a child is born, a child sees a mother first for nurturing. So, in other words, the nature of her nurture was the gift she gave. The gift that saved. Saved me from my father when he asked me that question. After every fight that you guys had, he'd ask me, who do you love more? And at the time, y'all should know that I never answered it, but let's just say that he didn't know my answer had in store. Because 15 years later, he got my answer, and that's when he learned the paradox as to why we could never get it right. It's like Pandora took my voice box and called it her own, so Dad, you decided to wait until I was grown to open it. You should have known that it wasn't going to be nice, because even if my heart picked the right parent, it was the alcohol and the violence that broke it. And since you split, it's been us against all odds with our backs to the ropes. It's been rocky ever since. We had no extra money to blow like the popper, but Mama raised me to be a prince. Rich, with the principal potential in my pockets. You told me to look for change because change comes from within, and it was this change that got me on this bus ride headed far away from home. Alone physically, but mentally and emotionally, you're with me. I've learned that without a quiz, it's impossible in this board game called life, because life is a gift. It's also known as a present, and this present was given to us during her presence. Her presence is like royalty, and it was with me, along with all the great strong women before you, queens without crowns, just like Rosa, when she parked her behind at the front and took a stand by sitting down. Or when Amelia Earhart decided to fight life stereotype, it took flight. It took might and courage for Harriet Tubman to be bold and use the Underground Railroad, or all stories of her greatness would have been told. But this slavery is far from over. You see, women are the only oppressed group in society that live in intimate association with the oppressor, and we do oppress her. Every time we say a sexist slur, undress her with our eyes and stress her with our verbal and physical pressure, you can't stress enough to her that she is still living in a man's world. And I'm not saying that I never used the B word in vain, but what I'm saying is that there is always room for change as long as we stick to the movement for improvement, that women can always have faith in better days. Because on top of all this, women all over, always find a way. Just like how you do, Ma. Just like how you do it every single day. Woo! Even when things got thick, you made sure that the stones and sticks never broke you. And these are the words that I wrote you, and so I quote you. If you do what you're supposed to, everything will fall into place. Your love and your soft-spoken wisdom is the reason why I quote you. Remember when I told you that I would never forget all that you've done for me, even if I never realized it at first. I mean, you were never home, always trying to provide for my brothers and mine, and in my mind I see committed the crime and not putting an emphasis in family time. Always working overtime, but over time, I realized how lucky I am to have you in my life. Buying me the things that I wanted, paying for all my soccer trips. You make me chicken noodle soup to make me super when I'm sick. You're the dealer of all the cards in my hands. The one that gave me a fighting chance. You are my hero, or rather my heroine. My need to insert the needle in me so I can overdose on your estrogen to live life with femininity. You are the drug that gets me high in the clouds, and even if you're still back home in our house, I would still speak it loud. Mama, you made me so proud. Thank you.